Andrew, how are you?
I'm good. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you as well. How would you assess where the four of you defensively are after the performance on Saturday against Columbus?
Yeah, I mean, definitely a tough one. Credit to Columbus. They gave us a lot of problems. But we're ready just to move forward, get back on track. So I think, that's a good opportunity going into tomorrow night's game.
In your mind, how was Kali after that moment where he was hit in the head with the shot from Rossi?
Yeah, he's definitely shaken up a bit. Definitely not a good feeling taking one from, only a couple yards away, straight to his face. But credit to him, he stood up, in a couple moments in that game and then made a couple big saves. It could have been worse.
What are your impressions of your draft mate Nick Scardina and the way that he started?
Yeah, no, a ton of credit to him. He's came in and hasn't missed a beat. He's been playing really well, and has slotted in, fantastically. So a lot of credit to him, and I'm really stoked for him to see the way he's performing, and hopefully, he can keep that going, and I'm sure he can.
Was there a I guess from a communication standpoint between you and Tim in the game on Saturday, was there maybe some confusion or something that maybe just wasn't working when it came to coverage in the way that maybe things worked and broke down on Saturday?
Yeah, there was communication trying to figure out the best way to handle their overloads, especially in the wide areas. They bring a lot of guys over. Their wingbacks get high. Their strikers come over. So, trying to figure out the best way to handle those overloads. Communicating in the moment. But they definitely gave us problems. That's for sure.
Seemed like, according to what the numbers from that we get from Sport Tech, they I think we're down that side of the pitch 70% of the time. Is that something that you guys, on that left side, kind of lick your chops and say, okay, we're thinking that we now have to kind of step up? What does that kind of do in your mind when that happens?
Yeah, we just got to be, a bit more locked in, and we saw that they kept coming down our side for the most part, and again, just with the numbers that they brought over, we just had to be aware of their combinations that we know that they do really well with, bringing guys and third man runners into our box. So it definitely brought up a bunch of challenges, and clearly with the way it went, they got the best of us, unfortunately, but we're ready to move forward and get back on track.
I'm trying to remember back. I think you did play in the preseason match against NCFC. What are kind of your impressions in terms of what you saw from them then, and obviously now as you get ready for them tomorrow?
Yeah, bit harder to tell in a preseason match, but they've got some athleticism up top, so we'll have to be ready to take care of that. And then also with the ball, I think there was opportunities to break them down. I know we struggled to create a bunch of chances, but yet again, preseason we were still finding a way to click. So I feel like that'll be different this time around.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Carol.
Good morning, Andrew. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Good morning.
I'm, I'm good. Are you going to miss having Addie out there tomorrow night?
I'm not sure what the lineup is. I'm not sure, but we'll see. But if so, then yeah, I'll probably miss him. But whoever it is out there, we'll be ready to go.
It seems like you guys have been really steady as a back line in terms of personnel for a long time, and then all of a sudden there's been a lot of coming and going. How have you guys kind of handled that?
Yeah, it's just all in the preparation, each week, every day coming into training, the guys in the back line putting in the work no matter who it is. So, like Nick Scardina, when his time comes, he came in and he was ready to go, kept a calm head and was very composed. So you see that even with guys, coming in and out of injury, people having to change positions, Tim obviously being more of a left center back and having to be, forced out wide again with Sully, taking a hit. So it's just credit to guys being ready and the next man up mentality.
What have been your impressions of Marshall Ruddy so far?
Very impressed. He's a great young guy. Very quick, athletic. So he's going to be a great addition, and looking forward to working with him and playing with him.
And also U.S. Open Cup play, it kind of seems, I mean, I'm sort of new to all this, but it seems like a NCAA tournament, where you got the Cinderella teams and almost like they have nothing to lose and you guys have a lot to lose. How do you kind of guard against just them throwing everything at you?
Yeah, I think Open Cup brings, new challenges. Just like you said, you got, um, you know, the U.S. championship teams that, when we come and play them, it's can be make or break their season. They want to throw everything at us and get away with a win. So for us, we have to defend it and, show our standard. And can't play down. And we got to keep, our standards high.
Thanks, Andrew. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, love you referring to him as a good young guy when you're still the good young guy yourself there. Um, have you played in the amateur cup or McGuire Cup in your younger days?
Not in my younger days. No, no. Just our first year in 2023 when we played Tormenta, I believe. That was my first experience.
And knowing that this tournament is like one of the longest continuous national tournaments in the world, that this is significant that the U.S. is not just now a soccer country, but we have been for over 100 years. Does that give special meaning to an event like this?
For sure, especially with a cup with so much history, and I've watched games, growing up here and there, especially when Christos, my local team, was playing DC in the area. So I think back on that moment where they almost, got the upset. So with that much history and kind of the Cinderella story at play, it's definitely, a very historic and cool tournament to follow. And of course, we wanna bring home a trophy. So we're looking forward to make a run.
And what's your overall feeling just on where the club is, this season and at this point?
Yeah, I think every year we've taken steps forward, and I think this year you're seeing the same thing. We're off to our best start, and yeah, there's been ups and downs in that, but I think overall we're moving in the right direction, and I feel like we've bounced back from our downs, every single time. So we're looking forward to getting back on track.
And you've experienced a few coaches in just your short time with Charlotte over the past 4 years. Um, how would you explain what is Dean bringing to this club that's different, that's putting it in the right direction?
Yeah, I feel like we have a true identity. We know exactly what we're working towards. We know exactly what we're doing on the pitch. And I feel like, the roles in that, whatever position you're playing, what your job is and how to contribute. So I feel like when we bring that, week in, week out, we know what we're, looking to do and how to crank out results.
And he's not someone that panics, is he?
No, no, not at all. He's very composed and he's great at instilling confidence in individuals and the team as a collective.
Great. Thank you, Andrew.
You.
Bridget, go ahead. You're on
I think
mute.
it's still on mute.
Sorry, I'm trying. My phone didn't want to work. Hi, Andrew. How are you doing today?
Good. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. So when we first interviewed a couple of years ago, your trajectory and the team has changed a little bit. The other night we were listening to the Apple TV announcers, and they mentioned that the U.S. men's national team could be looking at you. Does that change? Does that in your mind at all? Is that something that you're striving for?
Definitely what I'm striving for. It'd be a dream come true to reach that level and get a call up. So I mean, I just approach every game like you never know who's watching. So I'm just trying to put in the best performance I can, every game and every opportunity I get.
And last time you went to Raleigh, it was to see the Canes. You, George, and Nick went up there for that. I think y'all brought them good luck. How was that experience for y'all?
Oh, it was great. Just took a little drive up there, and it was very cool going to a Canes playoff game for the first time to experience that atmosphere. So been a couple of times going up there in recent weeks. So looking forward to making the quick drive up.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you as well.
Everybody good? Any other follow-ups? Good. Andrew, thank you for joining us.